Hey everybody, we're gonna listen to a podcast, hang out. There's Panda. Say hi, Panda. Panda's a good girl. Mhm.
Three, two, one.
We're listening to a podcast about the Space Coast. In this one, they're talking about the Ron John Surf Shop.
I'm Wayne Belden, the president of Belden Communications, the publisher of the Space Coast Fun Guide and SpaceCoastFunGuide.com. We'll be bringing you 321 Liftoff each week, talking about tourism on Florida's fabulous Space Coast. With me is the host of 321 Liftoff, Bonnie King, former deputy director of the Space Coast Office of Tourism, as well as the past president of the Florida Film Commission. Bonnie, are we ready to blast off on 321 Liftoff?
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
sir.
Hey, how many places have you gone where you have seen someone who is wearing a Ron John t-shirt? These t-shirts are seen all over the world. And today we're going to have a tourism conversation with Heather Lewis. She's the marketing director for this world famous, largest surf shop in the world, Ron John Surf Shop, located right here in Cocoa Beach on Florida's Space Coast. And 321 Liftoff is brought to you in part by the Beachside Hotel and Suites on Cocoa Beach, which is literally about a block away, because we're here right now at Ron John's, and offering free breakfast and one-of-a-kind lazy river that goes up and down the length of the hotel, and complimentary beach cruisers and surfboards. And we're also brought to you in part by the SpaceCoastFunGuide.com, where you will learn what there is to do and where to do it. With me, as always, is my very good friend John Belden, Vice President of Belden Communications. Hey there.
Good morning, Bonnie and friends. We are here live on location at Ron John Surf Shop, and in front of us are the famous statues that line the sidewalk out front, paying homage to the many sporting activities that are commonplace here on the Space Coast, like surfing, which is my favorite, skimboarding, and skateboarding. And joining the conversation here is my father, President of Belden Communications, Wayne Belden. How you doing there, Pop?
I am so fantastic, I can't take it anymore. I don't know what to do about it. Hey, you know, as we sit here, there are so many visitors that pose for pictures with these giant statues as the backdrop, and also the Woody Wagon out front. This store is an icon for the city of Cocoa Beach, and I dare say, it's my own opinion, it should be an icon for the state of Florida as well. I mean, once you're on A1A and you see this big, beautiful building with this pastel colors, you know you've arrived at Cocoa Beach.
You
This
know
is the
that,
place.
absolutely. You know you're right. Everything that you need for the beach, from surfboards to beachwear to all the accessories for the beach life that you live, is right here at the world famous Ron John Surf Shop. So let's welcome Heather Lewis, the marketing director for this very famous place. So welcome, Heather. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Doing well. Welcome to Ron John's.
Yes,
Boy,
yes.
good time.
Thank you for bringing this beautiful weather for us out here this morning too.
That's what we like to do.
Perfect beach weather today.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. So you've been here how long now with Ron John?
Well, I don't want to give my age away, but 27 years. I mean,
Isn't that
time
something?
flies.
So that makes you 29, right?
I am 29. I was
thought
the
so.
youngest employee ever.
That's it.
That is so cool that you were doing that. But you lived here. Did you live here in Cocoa Beach before you came?
I grew up here on the Space Coast in Rockledge. So Cocoa Beach that's the beach my family came to. You know, when we went with friends, obviously we came to Ron John's. You know, picked some stuff up, hit the beach. So this has been like my home turf for a long time.
Wow. So the history of Ron John is a very interesting and fascinating story. So if you could, in a nutshell, maybe give us a little history about how did this unique building get here? Where did it start? Who's the guy that started it all? What happened that he had this interest in? And where do we go from there?
Well, there is a Ron, and he actually is from New Jersey. Started up there in Ship Bottom, New Jersey. Wanted to get a surfboard. His father recommended that he get 3, sell 2. Then his would be paid for it. It worked. He started selling.
That is a smart idea.
Yeah, worked out really well. I think.
We got to try that.
I'm going to buy 3 cars, sell 2.
There you go. See if that works.
Hey Kyle.
I'm not sure if it works in this current economy, but
Well, there's a will, there's a way, right?
so he started there really.
I'm
selling
doing
boards.
good.
Started in 1959, so it's been well over.
Let me pause this. I'm good, Kyle. How are you? Unexpected UPM live again. How are you doing? Yeah.
60 years.
We're
They've
just
gone
listening to
down.
podcasts,
Came to Cocoa Beach in
hanging
1963. Really loved the area. Saw a lot of potential here. It was
I'm
when
doing
the
great.
space program was really growing and taking off. So I think the time was perfect for him to set up a shop here, get people interested in surfing,
Like a panda.
and kind of ride that wave.
I like the pun you did there. It was
Like a
taking
panda.
off. I caught it. She's with you, folks.
I got jokes.
That's it.
Oh, we love to hear that.
What's up,
So
Mike?
we started small
We're listening to a podcast. 3, 2, 1, lift
Yeah, it
off.
was in several different locations.
Right.
Chilling
down
out.
by 3rd Street. We do have a photo from like the mid '60s. There was it was on the pier at one point, and then it's been at this location for quite some time. But is grown a lot over the years to the size that it is now.
And for those of us that have lived here and have seen this whole transformation, I mean, I was here when they were over on 3rd Street, and then they moved into this building that was here. It was a small shopping area that was here. They had that building, and then they decided to own everything, and they tore that down and then build this, as everybody would say, monstrosity. Like this big building. It's like, wow, this is like, as just like what Wayne was saying, it's like an icon of Cocoa Beach. I mean, you know that you've arrived when you come down A1A and you pass and you see this beautiful building.
Yep.
The pastel color, it just fits right into what you think of when you think of Cocoa Beach. And you know that Ron John is Cocoa Beach. Ron John is synonymous with that name as well. And so you know that you've arrived. But what's great about it is that you also have a building over on the other block that's also part of you that has the Florida Surf Museum.
Has the Florida Surf Museum, and that houses our beach rentals too.
Right,
So,
okay.
but yeah, they do a great job there. Giving us a little history of surfing in Florida. They maintain that. I believe they just did a book signing last weekend. So they're starting to pick up on activities there.
That whole place is amazing. I mean, so you can actually come in and get anything that you need for the water, whether it be surfboards, you can buy your surfboards here, but you can also rent them or do whatever, get your skimboarding, your skateboarding. You got every board kind.
Right. Well, especially if you're traveling, you may not want to travel with your
Exactly.
surfboard, so you have the opportunity to rent that. We rent beach bikes, bodyboards, beach chairs, umbrellas, whatever you need to kind of get you through your trip, so that you're not having to haul all that with you.
But I wonder what the thinking was when he decided to tear down the small shopping area and then build this. I mean, was he thinking ahead by saying, we're going to be the standout in Cocoa Beach? I mean, what was the thinking behind that?
I really think it was a gradual progression as people, started to become familiar with the brand. They, had come when they were kids. They were bringing their kids. The people were really, flocking to Cocoa Beach in this area, and the opportunity was there to grow, and you just needed more space to be able to, give more offerings. There's just so many different things that you can have for the beach. So many brands now that are tied to surf, beach, skate, all of
Yeah.
that.
So it's more like necessity is the mother of invention.
Exactly. Yeah. You build to, I don't think he would have come in and built it this size, originally, but you see, where your business is heading and what the demand is, and work
Right.
with that.
And it's beautiful at night too. I love when it's all lit up.
When it's all
Oh, yeah,
lit
the
up,
lights
it
are
just
great.
Oh,
is
yeah.
gorgeous.
Really gorgeous.
Yeah. The floods are on the ground and they're shooting up. So you see when you go by, you just can't take your eyes off of it.
Yeah.
And which you should.
Right.
You'll get in an accident. It's that beautiful. And
It's just surfing on the internet. So this is the skateboard I'm working on painting. I got the background done. I think I'm going to do Bender from Futurama on it. Yeah, this is what I got done so far.
it really is. It really
And we lay claim, of course, to many heroes that we have here in Brevard County on the Space Coast. I mean, Kelly Slater, 11-time world champion, and now we have Carolyn Marks.
Yes.
Now going to the Olympics, representing us in the Olympics. They've made surfing part of an Olympic sport, so she's going to be representing us as well. But she's right here from the Space Coast.
Yeah, she's right here from the Space Coast. She's actually one of our Ron John team riders, so we're really proud to have her on our surf team. And she's just such a great ambassador for the
Yes, she
sport.
is.
So positive, and doing so much at such a young age. I think it's really an opportunity for young female surfers, especially, to have somebody to look up to and things that they could try and do in the sport.
When you say team, a Ron John team rider, tell me what that is, because I know people say, "Oh, I'm on the Ron John surf side" or whatever. So you have, how many surf team people do you have that represent Ron John as they're surfing?
I think we have 13 or 14 right now. But
Okay.
when we started it, we really wanted to support local surfers. Like you said, the Space Coast, as you just mentioned, has developed a lot of surf talent that has gone out and done really well on the world circuit. And we wanted young people that are getting into the sport to have an opportunity to compete and try and improve their skills. So we find ones that are good kids, they're doing well in school, they're focused on that, they're focused on surfing, and give them it may be support for equipment or travel, different things that we're doing with them to give them a chance to experience surfing and try and grow in it.
Well, not only that, but you also have a surf school. So that
Yes.
that's exciting. I mean, I know that people come in here on vacation and they actually can come here and they have your instructor is a certified surfer or whatever. And tell us about that, because I find that there's a lot of people that will say, "Oh, I've always heard about surfing. I'd like to be able to try it."
I don't know where Destry's at.
And then you guys take over.
Yeah, if you want to learn, that is a great way to do it. The Ron Surf School is amazing. They pretty much guarantee they'll get you standing up on the board. But
Nice.
yeah, they have a lot of experts. It's run by Todd and Lauren Holland, and Todd was actually in
Because,
Lauren's surf team. Right?
I told her I was going live.
Before, so it's all tied together. But yeah, they have a great team over there. So if you just want to come in and get a lesson, they have group lessons, private lessons. They will, get you in the water and they get you confident in what you're doing. And they're coming up on their season. If you've got kids looking for a camp to do this year, their surf camps are amazing.
So are there age restrictions in that? Because when I get up on the board, I sink, and I'd love to be able to actually,
You need to do that.
So are there restrictions to that?
Yeah.
As far as age, I
she's
think it's,
probably-
they start maybe as young as 7 or 8.
Who knows what she's doing, but she'll
Big
be.
thing to be able for safety
she'll be in here
purposes. So
soon,
you can
probably.
slam it on. We can get you in there.
Sweet.
And but yeah, people from all walks of life now are surfing.
Yeah.
It's great to see so many people getting out and going to the beach and enjoying the sports that you can do there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. And how could you not? I mean, with the weather that we have here, which is why I think it's so popular the way it is, and the scenery, and just like you see Ron John, you need to get on the board, you need to get out there. So yeah.
And there's a whole group of people, professionals, lawyers, attorneys, doctors, dentists, or whatever, that are surfers that all. And I say like Jack, the Kirschenbaums that go out and
Right.
surf or whatever. And these people have lived and breathed Cocoa Beach as youngsters, and now they're in the professional world. But they all get together and they're out riding the waves, And it's kind of neat to see it because they're older now. They're in their 60s and 70s, but they have that beach style life, and they're carrying that surfboard up on top of their head as they walk out onto the beach doing the thing. Which I love that look, by the way. I just think that's a great look,
And the skateboarding, when you watch that, it's like, wow, that takes a whole another level.
Oh,
of
that's
talent.
like an athletic skill
It is.
that you have to have a lot of confidence and be able to do that. But it looks
Yep.
like it's so much fun. I've
It
not
does.
tried it. I don't think I have the balance, so it might be a little too
Don't wanna
accident
break a
prone
bone,
myself
right?
for that. But yeah, watching them do that because that's not as dependent on waves. You just need a little
Yeah,
bit of
you're not-
water at the
Yep.
shoreline, and it's crazy the stunts that they can do.
I know. I've seen it. And again, I'm with you. I'm like, I know if I did that, I would break a leg or something immediately. But looks fantastic.
Well,
It's
it's
fun to
fun.
watch if you're just
Yeah.
on the beach. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just fun to even watch it.
I always think that once you put your weight on it, that you would hit the sand.
Nope.
But there's a certain way that you have to do it.
Yeah.
And when I see those kids and adults or whatever that are skimming across, I just think, okay, how do you do that?
They run so
I
fast.
know they
First
run
time I
so
saw my
fast.
niece do that, I was like, my gosh, what was that?
That's what we're seeing. I mean, that's surfing and skate has always been big. Goes through its waves of popularity, but skim right now is really
Yeah, I was going
taking
to say,
off.
it's a hot thing going
It's
on.
really a
right
hot
now.
thing right now. Yeah, we're getting a lot of demand for skimboards, so people are getting out there and trying it. Except because I think you're not as dependent on the waves. You can
Right.
do different things. It's a different type of water sport.
Yeah.
And what about the jet skis too?
We don't carry jet skis. Yeah, we did years ago.
You did years ago,
so-
but the interesting thing on those jet skis too that you see is that we have the big Thunderboat races coming up, as you know, here in Cocoa Beach in May, and I think they're having a full day on the day before the boat race on Sunday. On Saturday, they're doing jet ski races, which should be kind
That should
of
be fun to see.
So
yeah.
it'll be fun. And as I said, when you're here at Ron John, you're just 2 blocks from the beach. So if you're here to see Thunderboat the races, you can just come up here to Ron John.
Exactly, right there at Shepherd Park. A lot of nice viewing
It's
areas.
going to be. I'm going to tell you, we have so many special events that are going on between now and through the summer, or whatever. Our visitors are going to have a great opportunity and a great chance to see a lot of different things. So.
So one of the great things about having the beach here, because we're able to get some of this back. The air show was wonderful. It was like
Yes.
2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Now
Yeah, I bet you got some good pictures of those planes that are flying by.
It was great the days that they were practicing.
I
too.
know, I
So
was
you're
gonna
just
say,
you're like, I got to step out of my office for a
Right,
minute.
right.
Check this
What's
out.
up, Kyle?
Those things, right?
The other thing is, I know
You're
you
still
guys
here.
give over like 2 million stickers. Every time you buy something from Ron John, you get those stickers in your bag, and you also promo them and give them out. But people take those stickers and they stick them everywhere. Not only do you find stickers everywhere, but you find Ron John T-shirts everywhere. I know I've mentioned this before, but I remember for me, I was at the Johnny Carson show, and the guy in front of me was wearing a Ron John Cocoa Beach surf shirt, which I thought was great. And then I heard that there was a sticker that was found on one of the legs of the Eiffel Tower. So it's almost like a hunt, okay, where am I going to find the name Ron John? Where am I to see that?
They really are everywhere. Even after being here for so many years, when I do, track light outside the area and go to other places, I'm just amazed. I get so excited. I'm like, a
Yep.
school kid. Oh, there's a sticker, So we're, you see them everywhere. and I'm sure I annoy my friends and family when we're on car trips, and I'm not playing the license plate
Right,
game. I'm
right,
looking
you're
for
playing
the
the
Ron
Ron
John
John.
stickers
Well,
on
it's
their
important to love what you
t-shirts.
do, right? So, I mean, that's exciting.
And obviously she loved what she do since she's been here 27 years. She is Heather Lewis, Ron
I mean,
John.
you work here at the beach, so
yeah,
it's
it doesn't get
not
any
a
better
bad-
than that, right?
no.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit too about, and do you have a relationship with Kelly Slater now? I know growing up he probably did, but now that he's off, and I don't know, we have the big Kelly Slater statue that's just down the street from here.
There's actually one right
and-
behind you too.
I was just going to say that we have the statue that's down there when you enter the downtown Cocoa Beach area, and then right behind us, of course, is, I think that was one of the first ones that went up, wasn't
Yes,
it?
yes. So we're not a sponsor of Kelly's, but
Right.
obviously being a local
Right.
Cocoa Beach surfer
claim him
and the
big
greatest
time.
surfer
Yes.
ever. We're super proud as residents here to have him. He's been to the store and done some events, and so it's always fun. Huge draw. I mean, so many people know who Kelly is, and I
Right.
think he brought a lot of people a lot of awareness to the sport, and kind of helped build that. And made it more mainstream.
That's how you know you made it when you got a statue. He's got multiple statues here in Cocoa Beach, which is cool.
Yeah, and the different statues that you have, like, you've got surfing, you have skateboarding, right?
Right.
And so, what are some of the other sports that are on here?
I think we've got stand-up paddling out here.
John, you're not overparked, are you?
Big.
Oh, yeah, they're coming for me.
They're coming. They're-
I'll handle
The
it.
cops are coming for me.
I think I ought to interject that we take pride in bringing this show on the road, and we are literally on the road today. We're about 40 feet from AYA,
Yeah.
and we're about 30 feet from the front door of Ron John's. And so we're right out here, and we are on the road. So
In the mix of it.
It's great. So tell me, let's just talk a little bit more about the Surf Museum and what is in there. I know it shows the history, whatever. And who's running that? And the money goes to a foundation.
That's actually the Florida Surf Museum. It's its own organization. We're just a partner with them,
Oh, okay.
and they utilize the space there. And it's a benefit for us because it does give something for our guests to go see and learn a little bit about history there. And they do, different displays throughout the year that they're curating. I haven't been in there right now, so I'm not sure what the actual current display is. But every few months they go in and change it out. So it's maybe focused. Sometimes it's focused on boards, and they'll have, maybe something about shapers that are specifically from Florida or this area. They've done, displays about Kelly Slater before, or some of the surf contests. So it's constantly changing, and there's a lot of history here in this state, and particularly on the
Years old when I found out you could set up a billboard in Space Coast.
It really is. Isn't that the truth? I mean, we have a real good history of not only nature and surfing and space or whatever. I mean, we have a lot to offer, a lot of diversity, and which is why we want to tell our visitors this is a great place to come visit. Also, when we were over on your other block with where your offices are and where you sell your rentals, is also the Key Lime Pie Company. We were over there. We did an interview over there to an 8 key lime pie and did all that. But it's so cool because visitors love key lime, and the whole image of this whole area with the pastel colors and everything, they just fit right in. So we enjoyed that. That was great, and we were happy to see that they were located in the same location that you guys.
Yeah, it's a
have
good
your
spot,
building.
and now you've made me hungry.
Yeah, I know.
I'll stop by there afterwards.
And our producer and I, we actually tried the hot sauces there, and wow, they're pretty hot.
Yeah.
We got to meet Sweetie. We met Sweetie.
Oh, yeah,
did
Sweetie,
you?
the
Okay,
Sweetie
good.
alligator
Oh,
came,
jealous.
yeah.
I haven't even met Sweetie
No,
yet.
well, we may be able to arrange a meet and greet for you.
Set me up with that.
You bring Callie, we'll bring Sweetie.
Okay, so fair trade.
I love that. So, speaking of that, what we'd really like to do is we want to get hold of Carolyn Marks. I mean, we'd love to be able to talk to her about where she's going and what she's doing. So we put out a call to see if we can't get Caroline to give us a conversation and talk about all the good things that's happening with her and her family.
That would be great. So, she is heading to the Olympics
I
soon,
know,
so
I
time
know.
may be difficult.
And I'm
but,
sure
she
that
did,
she's
yeah.
exactly.
I'm sure she would
traveling a
love
lot.
to do it, though.
Yeah,
but
I think it'd be
there's-
great. I think it's great. The other thing is, you have the Florida's Endless Summer Surfing license plate. And so that is something that's out there. I don't know if you're involved in that or whatever, but people can buy a license plate that says Endless Summer, and the money goes to a founding for the foundation that they've got. So,
Right. Ron and Lynn started a foundation several years ago. They were really looking, I think, for a legacy to give back to surfing and the beaches here in the state of Florida, something beyond, Ron John Surf Shop.
Right.
So they started Surfing's Evolution and Preservation Foundation. And then through that developed the Endless Summer license plate, which is doing really well. I'm seeing more and more of
I
them
was
on
going
the
to
road.
say,
So,
you do see it.
Yeah.
It's got,
It's an iconic look,
Yes.
and it's really across the state has really taken off. So I'm spotting those in cars now. when I
Yeah,
drive by, too,
exactly.
so.
Those have been around for a while, right? Because I actually have seen those for some time too.
Yeah, they've been around for
Long time.
quite a few years now.
Yeah, pretty. Because it's got like, at least the ones I've seen, it's got kind of like a sunrise type color to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's right on the back of my car over there. It's
Awesome. Yeah.
you've got one of those license plates. Yeah, it's very cool.
So that's they're putting the funds that are coming in from that is going back to supporting, beach safety, beach cleanups, organizations that are out there, working environmentally to preserve the beaches here in Florida and
Right.
keep that so that we can all keep enjoying the beaches throughout the state, as well as, safety and promoting the sport of surfing. So there's-
Absolutely. And we always say, I mean, our number one natural resource here on the Space Coast is our beaches.
Right.
Our beaches need to be cleaned. Our beaches need to be, preserved or whatever. And you see a lot of activity going on our beaches where there's a lot of like putting renourishing sand and things of that nature up and down the beach. Because again, if we don't have a beautiful beach or whatever, why are the people going to come? And we are the closest beach to the Orlando area. So when people are here, this is the beach that they're going to come
It
to.
really is our greatest resource, and I
Yeah.
think that's one thing that across the Space Coast, I think everyone is aware of that and is really working to try and make sure that we have these nice, beautiful beaches and keep them in shape for everyone.
So are you a surfer?
I should say I have surfed.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to look.
Yeah, you got that super
Yes.
babe look.
I'm not sure about that. Thank you. But I've tried it, and I really appreciate the skill it takes to do it.
It
So
is a
it's
skill.
it's a lot of fun. I think I spent more time in the water than on the
Right.
board the times I've tried it. But it's to be able to do it.
When I was-
that's a lot of.
Yeah, it's tough, right? I mean, when I was
Very tough.
young, I body surfed a little bit, and that was fun.
Yeah.
I never really got on the board. I don't know. I just never got the right training, I guess. But the body surfing was fun. Just riding the wave is pretty exciting. So I get the
Oh yeah, it's a thrill to do it, and I'm sure if I had spent more time practicing, because
Right.
you can't get good at anything without practicing, would have been better. But
Sure.
more lessons at the surf school, and I'll get up there.
They say the East Coast surf capital, is the Cocoa Beach area. And a lot of people say, yeah, but there's really not a lot of big waves, because when people think surfing, they're thinking these giant waves
Like
that
in
you see
Hawaii.
elsewhere. But we are known because we're a test. All the famous surfers or whatever that we have that are here got their start on these waves, because these waves, we're the regional area for the best waves. Small
Why
waves.
is that?
Small wave.
Why is that? Because I hang out a lot at the Daytona Beach too, and their waves are totally different. The waves down here are much better,
Yeah.
and I don't know anything about surfing, but I mean to look at them. So I always wondered, is there something geologic?
Isn't it with the inlets and whatnot?
Well, and it could be, but I heard an interview with Carolyn Marks, and she was talking about how she's raised in the South part in Melbourne, and her family, as she said, it's a great way to learn surfing because you can control, so to speak, the wave, which will help you when you're doing bigger waves. So when I look at and I'm wonderful. I've gone on you guys have a great site with a lot of videos of surfers. You've gone on surfing sites. I watched Carolyn Marks surfing, and I've seen what she does with a small wave, and then you see what she does with a big wave, and it's all in the like your the thigh area, your the legs, the way you move your feet. Fascinating to watch. But she was saying, you've got to be able to control a wave, and you can really start well with the small wave capital, which is here.
Yeah.
So, we're happy to say, hey, obviously this is a place to learn, a place to do it, which is great that we have the surfing school and that we have the people that want to come in and learn.
Yeah, I think it's ideal for learning, and then once you are getting better
Right.
at it, to be able to do more of the aerials and tricks and maneuvers,
Yeah.
Which is
you really
amazing.
have to work at it here. There's bigger waves, gives you a little bit of a additional benefit here. You're honing your skills a
I would
lot
be
more.
scared to death when they get inside that
funnel?
curl,
Those
the
tubes.
funnel.
How awesome is that, though?
Yeah.
I love that.
That's incredible.
It is incredible.
I wonder. I'm amazed at the guy that takes the picture.
Right.
Well, that's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
How they do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones actually out there in the water that
Yeah.
are doing it. Yeah, they're
And
athletes
they're in
themselves.
the tube, they call it. See, I'm a real surfer. I can see.
Yeah. See?
And a lot of them these days with technology, they'll put a camera right on the board, and so they can actually film themselves doing
Right.
these things. But I got to think that's so peaceful while you're in there, and you probably as a surfer, I'd imagine you zone out everything, right? Because you're just riding the thing. But
I can't imagine that it would be peaceful
I
because
think it would be.
because to me, you're in there and you're thinking, okay, I can't fall. I've got to do this. I have to do that.
But where else can you go?
I
Where
know.
you got this whole thing around you and you're just riding. And for a surfer that loves what they do, that's probably the honey hole of the sport right there.
I guess,
I gotta
yeah.
think that you're just like, wow, this is awesome. I mean, I don't know. I'm a water bug, so I love it.
Hey, they're making it. They're doing well. So let's see. What else is there you can tell us about Ron John? Anything else that we might need to know? You got
Is he
anything?
here? Does he hang? Does he come here a lot to the store?
He's Ron and I'm John. We can
No.
do it. How many locations these days?
Well, we have 12 company-owned locations.
That's- okay.
So when I started here, we had 2. We had New Jersey and Cocoa Beach. So
Right.
we've seen a lot of growth over the last 20 plus years.
Wow.
Nice.
And we're working on a couple of other things coming up, but yeah, we've got the store in New Jersey still there, much bigger than it used to be. We have one in Ocean City, Maryland. We have
Nice.
2 stores in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Nice.
Orange Beach, Alabama. We're in Pensacola, Panama City. We're in Key West, Clearwater. Where am I forgetting?
Fort Myers.
And we're out
Awesome
in
live
Disney Springs
stream.
I
as
have
well.
seen that.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's
we're
having
good
a
stuff.
wonderful
But
day.
that's
Hope you
also,
are
ladies
too,
and
Kyle.
gentlemen, That's why you're as big as you guys are, because people see it in all these different locations. And I got to think it's kind of like a Hard Rock.
Right,
We got to go
I
see
gotta
each
check on the
individual
Oh,
dog.
isn't that the truth?
location, right?
Yeah, you get the different stickers. We do have people that are collectors.
Yeah, why
based on
not?
the location.
That'd be a fun road trip, right?
But here in Cocoa Beach, this is our our flagship, and this is definitely where the majority of people are coming to see us and
Where they
know
start.
about the brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the stores that you have elsewhere, they're not as big as this.
No, this
Yeah.
is by far
Right.
our largest store, I don't foresee that changing here. So we still believe we're the world's largest surf shop. So
Right.
we're
Okay.
proud of that.
Come
What
here.
are the hours?
Right now, I believe we're 9 to 11.
Awesome.
So plenty of time for you to get in here when you're
And it's
coming
fun.
out to the beach.
2 stories, right? So you can come through and you have your white selection when you come in.
Yeah, we really do have a little bit of everything. If you can't find what you need for the beach here, they haven't invented it yet. So it's
It's funny because you look back back in the 60s when Ron was even, because I wonder if you ever thought that his brand would be, he probably wanted to make a brand. I want to be big, but I don't think he thought it was going to be this big. Look at, you know what I'm saying, when he first started.
it is amazing, and like you said, you remember how small the shop
Yeah,
was initially
yeah.
starting, and to think that it could grow, that's kind of the American dream here, to
Right.
be able to build that kind of
Absolutely.
business and a legacy.
I feel like I've heard it before, but I don't remember. Where did the John part come from, Ron John?
Because it rhymed with Ron, right?
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah. So they were looking. They're like, well, we need to, we need some T-shirts. They had a team. They were selling boards. We need some T-shirts. They kind of brainstormed. They came up with that, and I liked the sound of it, and stuck with it, and it's really grown.
Nice.
I mean, it is funny that people go, well, okay, we know that guy Ron started it, but who is the John? And it's I found out. I said, oh yeah, just because it round good, Ron John. It's a good thing. So let's hear. What do you like to do in your spare time, if you have some spare time?
Yeah, the spare time. What is that?
Yeah.
Really, obviously I work here at the beach every day, so it's always nice to be able to go out and do that. One thing, growing up on the Space Coast and, living here, there's so many things to do, particularly outdoors. I, do a lot of running and walking, my dog, you'll see us running all across the county here.
Yeah.
And, there's just so many things to do. Besides that, we have great restaurants that are on the water,
we
and
do.
just be able to sit outside and enjoy
Really?
that view. Just relax and,
Now, also, Ron John, we have a lot of surfing festivals that are here on the beach, and of course,
Yeah, just chilling, Kyle. I kind of wanted to go to there's an air show on Cocoa Beach, but I'm like, it's gonna be hot, it's gonna be crowded, so I decided to just stay home and chill out. So we're doing this instead. It's been a crazy day or crazy week at work, so I'm just gonna rest today. I'll probably stream for like another 30 minutes and then go do some stuff.
that you're not sponsoring them, but everybody associates you with those surfing contests, which I think is a good thing. I mean, I find it amazing that people, because of the name Ron John, everybody just automatically assumes that. We also have marathon races,
Exactly.
5K and things of that nature that have a Ron John feel to it as well. You guys sponsor, I believe, one of the races that we do, the I Dream of Genie race. That's
right. Yeah, we've been a sponsor of the I Dream of Genie. I think that's a half marathon. That's a couple of
Yeah.
things. We just did a couple of weeks ago the Ron John Cocoa Beach Triathlon.
there you
Wow.
go.
And then I think tomorrow is the USA Beach Running Championships, which we're a sponsor of. That is going to be running in that whole race. I think they have a half marathon and a 10K, and the entire thing
On
is
the
out
beach?
on the beach.
That's
See,
tough, too.
That is tough. That is tough. But how cool is it that we have all these events like that, which are growing? I mean, Mitch Barnes, I know, is one of our special event coordinators that does a lot of these shows and brings them in. But the I Dream of Genie one, which is a lot of fun, we have all these genies that are running in the marathon. They dress up like I Dream. Even guys will dress up like I Dream of Genie, which is kind of funny. But it's great to see the costumes and the fun, because it brings back, again, another history part of Cocoa Beach, which is the I Dream of Genie.
Right. Yeah, it's a nice tie into the space race days.
Yes, it is. Speaking of our space race, we've definitely geared up on that. We had a beautiful launch the other day, that early morning launch that went fabulous look, and sent our crew up to the
photos I've
ISS.
seen of it was gorgeous with that cloud cover. I've never
Beautiful.
seen it, look like that with the lighting effect.
Right,
They had from
yeah.
It was really.
I saw a friend of mine posted on social media, and she says, "You think it's a sunset? Nope, just another launch here on the Space Coast."
Yeah,
You do get used to it. It's still exciting, but
it's
you do get
very,
used to
it's
it.
very, very
it's awesome.
exciting. So we want to send people to your website, ronjohnsurfshop.com, and then that way they can not only see all the things that you offer here at the store, but you can also buy online as well.
Yes.
You can register, I guess, for all the different things that you guys are involved in, and great pictures and great videos. So compliment you guys on your website.
Thank
and
you very
say
much.
You've got some really, I love that you can go to your site, to all the sites. Every time we go to, when we're interviewing people or whatever, we go to their site. Good websites, because that's what's going to get people, very interested and inviting. And you guys
Yeah.
do a great job.
Websites and social media, I mean, that's the
Big.
key marketing tools now. So you really have to be, on point with those. So, hopefully people will go check out the website. Like they can get, see some of our products that we offer. But, we really encourage you to come here to the Space Coast and visit Ron John's while you're here.
We have a beautiful photo on spacecoastfunguide.com on the homepage of Ron John's, and it's go to our website. Obviously, there are visitors from out of state that are coming here. They're planning their vacation, and they'll look for their restaurants and shopping. And again, surfing. That's definitely a thing that is very well known here in Cocoa Beach. So you can find all that more on spacecoastfunguide.com. Check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And just 2 blocks or a block down the street is one of our sponsors, which is the Beachside Hotel. And I don't know, they went through that $6 million renovation. I don't know if you've walked down there to see the lazy river that they have there.
It's beautiful.
It's
They've done a
gorgeous.
great
They've done
job
a
with
great
it.
job. And so we're happy that they help sponsor this show. And again, they can come in, they can walk. What's really great too about the beach sites is they're only like a block away. They can walk, literally, they can walk here to Ron John. There are all these like 13 restaurants are right in this vicinity right here. You can walk there. The beach is just right behind you. So it's a great location. So if you're looking to come into our area, which we hope that you do, so that you can come and visit with Ron John and take in all of our attractions, but go to the Beachside Hotel, CocoBeach.com, and you'll be able to see what everything that they have to offer.
And hopefully you'll fly into Orlando Melbourne International Airport.
Yes, which is just down the road here as well. So I swear, when we're in Cocoa Beach, you're kind of centered. You can, go a little bit north to the Titusville area, go south, and you're in the Melbourne Palm Bay area. So we do have a lot to offer. So speaking of that, so we do have some activities coming up, right? We've got the Great Florida Air Show at the Orlando Melbourne International Airport, which is going to be May 15 and 16. And, as Heather just said, we just got through with the Cocoa Beach Air Show that happened here with the Thunderbirds. And this air show that we have coming in has the Blue Angels.
Yep.
So that's going to be a fun event. And then we also have Thunder on the Beach, which is the powerboat races.
Right.
And again, that will be May 20th through the 23rd. And that happens, again, right behind Ron John. So you can actually walk down to the beach and see all that happening as well as you're doing your shopping here at Ron John. So it's all good. And speaking of relaxation, I just want to say, I went to the Gara Fish Spa. We had the Gara Fish Spa on about 2 weeks ago, and we interviewed them and talked about the little fish that nibble at your feet and the ionic cleanse that you get for your feet or whatever. I took a group of girlfriends, and we went in there and we did that. What a great experience. So if you haven't done that yet, it's just down the street again, right here.
You have to try that. That sounds really relaxing.
It was very relaxing. And
Bring your wine.
bring your wine.
That's
And
right.
I know that you were looking for a place, because you always try to surprise your wife.
Earn some points, right?
Exactly. And I'm
Exactly.
telling you, I think you will earn some points if you do that. That was
Yes.
a lot of fun. And another thing to do while you're here in Cocoa Beach,
And Bonnie was showing us earlier how soft her feet are. They're so soft.
They're still soft after being there. It was really a neat experience, something different.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that's what we try to do. We want to highlight to our visitors and to our residents who listen as well, is to were you aware that we had this? When was the last time you were at the Space Center? When was the last time you were in Rondon? We try to disrupt you. These are the great things that you can do when you're on vacation here, on the Space Coast.
And
Lots to
it's
do and see.
all within, just think about it. You said earlier about the walking distance. You go to other attractions or destinations, we'll say there's a lot of driving involved. Not everything is one spot. You got everything right here. Everything's right here. I mean, you got this location right here. You can walk to our sponsor, Beachside Hotel and Suites. You got Key Lime right behind us. Key Lime, there. They got fantastic attractions. You got Ron John's right here. The beach. You had shuttle launches.
Listen,
I'm serious. It's
And the
like,
Cocoa Beach Pier is just down the street as well.
Fish nibbling at your
Fish nibbling.
Yeah, you got it all.
yeah, there's nowhere else to go. Come here, stay here. I mean, it's come, stay, play, live, right?
And you're only 30 minutes from Orlando.
Yep.
I mean,
That's right.
You can't beat it.
That's right.
And,
So-
and you don't have the stress of crazy traffic and like you do in other parts of the state. This is where you come to relax.
Right.
I love it.
And we also want, if you have information, we like for you to share your memory when you're here at Cocoa Beach. It's amazing how many people say, that's where I, first learned how to surf. That's where I went to the Space Center when the shuttle launches were happening. So we ask people to write in at info@spacecoastfunguide.com and just tell us what your memory is. And ask
Hello,
questions
hello.
you want to see, what you liked about the interviews that we had. Because you want to introduce them to people who are making this area happen, just like you, Heather. So when they come to Ron John, they may walk in and say, I want to meet Heather Lewis, So, but
And you really do. She's a sports babe.
You are. You're very community minded. I know you're out there with a lot of communities and things like that.
Yeah, let me look it up. There's a new Jaguar in the rainforest revealed. I do need to go back and check that out. Let me see. Let me get the information on that.
My name is Kayla. My name is
Khan the jaguar arrived from the Birmingham Zoo in an effort to conserve this incredible species. He's climbing to behind-the-scenes habitat. So I guess he's not out yet, but yeah, there's a jaguar. Yeah, I'll let you know when he's out. Maybe we'll go check him out or go do something at the zoo.
Building place. People, they know one another for years, and that's what makes things happen. That's why
I want to go back. It's just too hot to go right now.
Exactly, yeah, we've met so many people that
That's the main reason I didn't go to the
come back year after year,
um,
bringing their kids,
the-
bringing their grandkids.
the
So it's a
Cocoa
great
Beach
thing.
today, the air show.
And they're coming back, so
I know we love it. So
I mean, I
next
work
week, we're
outside.
gonna
I'm
have
in
an
that
interesting
heat
conversation.
enough.
Next week we have two scientists who have experiments that are going to the International Space Station. And Dr. Jamie Foster is a space biologist, and she examines healthy interactions between animals and their microbiome. But I'm not going to get into that because that's getting kind of really technical. But they're going to talk to us. And the other one is we have another doctor, Dr. Joya Massa. She's a NASA life science project. And they have experiments that are going up on the rocket to the space station. And they're going to talk to us about how do you get an experiment on a rocket, and they're going to talk about their background, what their experiment is going to do, and just give us another interesting look at what happens on that space station. What's going on up there while, we're all down here looking up there. So anyway, we're going to have them next week. I think it's going to be a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out what a microbiome is.
I know.
Wait,
Wait,
do I get to come back and do that?
Yeah, that's right.
And when we talked about the little fish that we had at the Gara Fish Spa, she's working with little fish that she does experiments with, and she travels all over the world to find these little
That's
fish
cool,
that she
Kyle.
brings back here. So that's
I'd
going
like
on
to
the
go.
space station. So it's interesting little things that we probably didn't know. So
Yeah.
if you're out there and you're going to be listening next week, if you have any questions for these two scientists that are working on that, we're happy to ask them and get it on. So we really appreciate you, Heather, being here with us today and allowing us to set up right outside the world famous Ron John Surf Shop.
Well, thank you all for coming out here
It's
today.
a great thing, and we just want people to come and see you and see what you have to offer and just be part of what the Space Coast is all about.
Yep, let's head to the beach now.
Let's
That's
go.
it.
All right,
It's all good.
all right,
So
let's go.
We'll see you next week.
All right.
Absolutely. That's a wrap.
Nice. Good job.
Let's find another podcast.
Three, two, one. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
On Saturday, I went to Daytona Lagoon, did a video on that. Don't have it out yet. Okay. Can't wait for that. I have not been to Daytona Lagoon. I don't really know what that is. Sounds nice. Yeah, that's cool, Kyle. Oh, this podcast is on the Oceanside Distillery. And at the end of the month, like July 30th, when my brother comes, we're doing a tour of that. So me, my brother, and his wife are going to this. So we'll listen to this
Today,
one.
on 3, 2, 1 liftoff, we peel back the curtain to let you see behind the scenes of how to make premium craft spirits that are uniquely Florida. For the past 86 weeks, 3, 2, 1 liftoff has taken you to many kinds of attractions that you would expect to see here in Florida's fabulous Space Coast. But this attraction that we're at today is something totally different. Today, we are at a distillery producing and blending a wide range of quality spirits. Whether they're in-house distilled vodkas, rums, or whiskeys, each is made with dedication and care in every step of the process, and that rewards you with flavors and textures that are uncommon to mass-produced products. Where are we? What is the name of the distillery we are at? And how do they produce their premium craft spirits? You'll find out, because it's all coming up right here on 3, 2, 1 Liftoff.
3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
No, I think the chocolate factory was in St. Augustine, I think. Did you see my Science Center video? Went to that museum. That was fun. I gotta find some new museums to go to. I might find one. In September, I'm going to Cincinnati to see Destry. Yeah. And I might go do a museum there, and I want to try the zoo there. So we'll see how that works out. So yeah, September, hopefully if things work out, I'm going to see Destry. And I'll put her in some videos. We'll go places. If I can find it. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you can go ahead and send that link.
I'm Wayne Belden, the president of Belden Communications, the publisher of the Space Coast Fun Guide and SpaceCoastFunGuide.com. We'll be bringing you 3, 2, 1 Liftoff each week, talking about tourism on Florida's fabulous Space Coast. With me is the host of 3, 2, 1 Liftoff, Bonnie King, former deputy director of the Space Coast Office of Tourism, as well as the past president of the Florida Film Commission. Bonnie, are we ready to blast off on 3, 2, 1 Liftoff?
Hey! Yes, we are. And I just want to start today to talk about the beautiful launch that we had this week. We had two launches this week, but the one that we had this past week on Monday, a SpaceX Falcon 9 launch, was unbelievable because the sky was totally clear. There were no clouds. And we got to see it not only go up all the way, but then come back. When the booster came back, you saw everything. Usually, they're all great launches, but, sometimes the clouds interfere and you don't really get to see everything. This one was absolutely perfect. And then
it's a Whetstone chocolate factory.
Loud boom. I'm telling you, that's one of the reasons you come here to the Space Coast. You never know when you're going to see a launch, And it was the 104th time that the SpaceX was able to recover one of its boosters. Isn't that amazing?
Technology is incredible.
It's just unbelievable. And, we're in a new age. Commercial enterprise is taking over our space program and, putting it in the hands of, taking it out of the hands of the taxpayers. And it's a great place to watch a launch right here in Port Canaveral, where we are today. And we're going to meet with Ron Folino. He's the owner of Oceanside Distillery, where they make premium crafts that are uniquely Florida. And we're going to talk about that today. 3, 2, 1 Liftoff is brought to you in part, as you know, by the Beachside Hotel and Suites on Cocoa Beach. Great place for having an overnight vacation. And by Longboard's Tiki Bar, located at the Hilton Ocean Front on Cocoa Beach, offering a fabulous ambiance with great food and drink. And of course, by the SpaceCoastFunGuide.com, where you will learn what there is to see and do and where to do it on this fabulous area that we call the Space Coast. And joining us today, as usual, our good friend John Belden, who's vice president of Belden Communications. And John, last week, we were at Romelia Farms.
Yes.
We were cuddling that adorable 10-day-old
how cute is
goat.
that?
And then we asked everybody to, look at the picture, and they got to see him on, obviously on the video. We said, hey, what would you name him? We had a very good response.
We had an amazing response.
Yes.
We asked our listeners for input, and boy, did they deliver. We had quite a few, probably a couple hundred at least, on the submissions, and a lot of creative names. I don't know, Phil, if you have a drum roll by any chance, but there you go, Phil. But the selected name for the goat is Billy, a Billy goat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which kind of surprised me because I was thinking, it's like an obvious name, and it was. I have to say, it was like the most names that people.
It was the highest submitted name was Billy Goat, and it's come on, it's a cute name, and it was an honor to hold it. So
and somebody who also wrote in and said Billy Goat said call him BJ. I'm sorry, BG, yeah, for Billy Goat. But
Staying
anyway,
alive, staying alive. So, anyways, getting back to it, I mean, yes, and I do want to say that launch earlier this week was absolutely beautiful. That's another reason why you come into the Space Coast. And actually, from the location that we're at today, the Oceanside Distillery, they have amazing views of the launches. So, definitely, it's another reason why this is an attraction. Because, guys, this place is an attraction. You can tour this facility and learn from the expert about fermentation, infusion, and distilling. Right? So, and with us today is our producer, Phil Bird. How you doing there, Phil?
That's one thing that I cannot wait. I've never seen like a launch in person yet.
Oh my God, Phil! Wow.
So I want to pick this spot.
Phil,
You know what I mean? I want to pick this spot and watch my first launch.
Definitely, brother. We'll set it up. Along with us, of course, is the president of Belden Communications, my father, Wayne Belden. Hey.
Video you did at the Orlando Science Center, that was cool. I've been there to the Science Center, say a couple times, but it's really fun. I'd like to go again. Yeah, I'd like to go again too.
I am doing excellent, John. I'm excited.
It's like this somewhere you want to go every time they set up a new exhibit to see what the new exhibit is. It's a nice museum, a lot of fun stuff to do. I like the nature part where you walk around with the animals. They have like a sloth and some monkeys. And there's an ocean part. There's a sea life part. A
Also
swamp
curious,
part.
I've never been to a distillery and always wondered how they do what they do. So to go behind the scenes and see where the magic happens is always something I always wanted to do at a distillery. It's all about the experience and discussing the various characteristics and production methods in producing premium craft spirits. So to get this conversation started and learn how they produce these spirits, let's meet the owner of Oceanside Distillery, Ron Polino. Welcome, Ron.
Welcome, Ron.
I know it sounded very scientific when he was talking, didn't it? Talking all those big words and everything.
Big words get
Boy, I felt good doing it. For once in my life, I was thinking, I wish my father was around. I sound, he'd be proud of me. I sounded intelligent.
So Ron, welcome. We're glad we're glad we're here so that we're able to promote what you're doing. And so tell us a little bit about this wonderful place.
Well, we started producing spirits in 2018. We source a majority of all of our feedstock, as we call it, from the state of Florida. We are members of the Fresh from Florida Department of Agriculture group. We are now licensed to put that logo on our label to show you how we participate with Florida agriculture. We source our corn from the Lake Okeechobee area, along with sugarcane juice that is dehydrated for us that we use for our rums.
Well, neat. And I don't think a lot of people, when they think about distilleries, the people that aren't really privy to this kind of thing, corn. I don't think people think about corn when they're right. Do you know? But yeah, it's involved.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's so many.
I'm getting vegetables.
That's right. It's actually good for you, Phil.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
That's awesome.
Our corn, this state, by the way, produces a lot of corn. We can't use the corn from Zelwood because it's a white corn, it's a very sweet corn. We use more of the feed type corn. And with the process of the proprietary yeast for it and the nutrients, we're able to make vodka and whiskey.
Nice. Very good.
And I can tell that we have the vodka and whiskey right here. So yeah, you've got a lot here to showcase.
Right. It's
Beautiful selection.
A basic labor of love. We have 3 different bourbons that are all aged here in our barrel room, and barrels that we source from Kentucky.
Okay.
We use a special char to add the maximum flavor to these over the period of time. Our bourbons, for instance, are 75% corn,
Wow.
where the minimum is 51% corn and aged for 2 years. Ours is 75, like I mentioned, and aged for 4 years.
Wow.
So that produces a whole different flavor perspective.
Neat.
So when you were doing the distillery back in 2018, you didn't open until about 8 months ago because you were in the process then of getting everything, what's the word I want to use in the sense
Prepared?
that, prepared and
I would say
fermented.
delicious.
Delicious.
Getting everything delicious.
That's right.
Getting
That's right.
everything ready.
It is a laborious process, to say the least.
There's those big words again.
Yeah. I could say artemis.
Sorry.
It starts out with mashing. We secure a ton of corn at a time. We use 650 to 700 pounds per distillation.
So 2 fills.
2 fills.
When he said mashing, you know what I was thinking
Mashed
of?
potatoes.
No, I was thinking of the Lucy I Love Lucy episode where she mashed the grapes for wine, right? That was it. So when you said mashing, we're mashing the corn. Classic. It was classic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No. Mashing is the term that goes back probably to the 1700s, where they actually cook the grain to a mash oatmeal type rendition.
Awesome.
We don't cook ours that way. We secure our corn already cracked and bagged. We prefer it to be cracked and a lot less of the cereal type because during the process of mashing dough balls would occur in the stem. And we watch this process religiously. And we have our still program now to where we have the process really down with very little.
So you got a science going for sure.
Definitely. Well, I would say this is a very educational place to be. That is for sure. In fact, give us a little bit of the history of where you came from, how you got involved.
I come from a very old Italian family who have been in the grappa, brandy, minter type of business in the Umbria region of Italy.
Wow, you're authentic.
I have watched my grandparents make wine and, actually distill basically illegally.
But we're just gonna roll past that.
Learned the process, and I never thought I would be doing this.
Legally.
So came to light from my brother who had done distilling. And again, visiting family in Italy back and forth for the last 20, 30 years, learning the process of branding bacon. So we decided that it's time to bring something like this to Brevard County.
Yeah, it's needed.
We are the foremost runner of it. We have a great location located within walking distance of 11 hotels and Port Canaveral nearby. And again, back to the whole idea of it, bringing quality spirits right to Brevard County and to this area of Florida that aren't the mainstream that's made in Tennessee or Kentucky. We make everything by hand in a small batch. We produce approximately 450 gallons at a time of distillation. Out of that, we render under 200 gallons of actual spirit. Just gives you a little idea.
Amazing.
Neat.
I like it. Are we ready to do?
Let's go ahead and do it. What do you say? All right, it's time for Space Coast Trivia, where we get to test the knowledge of everyone on today's podcast about random facts that we should know. And the only prize is the bragging rights. Space Coast Trivia is brought to you by Longboard Sticky Beach Grill, located in beautiful Cocoa Beach, next to the Hilton Ocean Cocoa Beach oceanfront.
Yeah, I was sure to let you know. So yeah, I'll be in the bushes myself, something to eat. Okay.
Where's the sign? Where's the sign? You did something thoughtful, Phil, and you see how that goes, right? With direct ocean access on their pool deck, enjoy refreshing frozen drinks, enticing launch specials, and a diverse menu of appetizers and entrees. Open till midnight, weather permitting, and guess what, guys? They do have kids' menus available, so bring the kiddos out there. Don't forget to join us.
Hello.
Actually, this Friday on February 4th from 6 to 9, they have reggae music, Island Breeze. It's a local band people love. Molly loves the reggae. On Saturday from 6 to 9, Miranda Rolino. She actually does cover songs and originals. If you haven't listened to her, check her on Facebook. She's got an amazing voice. And then on Sunday from 1 to 4, more reggae music, Hot Hill Crew. So all of this and more on Longboard Sticky Beach Grill in beautiful Cocoa Beach. All right, Phil, what do you have for us today there, my friend?
Take a wild
It has
guess.
to be about distillery.
It's about spirits.
Spirits,
essentially,
okay.
Right. So the teams we have here, I have Bonnie and Ron versus John and Wayne.
Wow, okay.
All right.
I'm depending on you, Ron.
Ron should knock all of these out of the park. So Bonnie, you
No pressure there, Ron.
I gotta sit back.
just sit back, relax, and text the goat.
Text the goat, Billy.
All right, here we go.
All right, guys. So just like last week, I will read the question, and you both have to answer what you guys choose. Okay. So don't blurt it out, Ron. Okay. First question: what is the official distilled spirit of the United States of America? Is it vodka, bourbon, rum, or gin?
Bourbon.
Bourbon?
It's bourbon.
I say bourbon.
What do you think? Bourbon. You think it's bourbon?
It's bourbon.
Bourbon.
Definitely.
I was going to say bourbon.
You guys are both correct.
Oh, we're so smart.
All right.
As I said, this is very educational. This is good. This
All right.
is good.
This one revolves around the movies here.
Okay.
All right. In Pirates of the Caribbean, or Caribbean,
Jack Sparrow.
Captain Jack Sparrow, played by Johnny Depp, what was he always drinking? Was it
Rum.
vodka, gin, or tequila?
Was it rum?
Rum.
Okay, you guys are.
Pirates always drink rum.
Yo ho, yo ho.
All right, here we go. Question number 3.
Doing pretty good.
Which is the most sold beer in the United States?
By who? Because
Is it,
Budweiser.
is it Bud Light, Miller Light, or Coors Light?
Bud Light.
I'm thinking.
I feel like there's a trick in here.
It is.
Bud Light.
I would think Bud Light, but I got a feeling for the record it's Coors. But you want to go with Bud Light? We'll say Bud Light.
I'm going to go Coors Light.
It's Bud Light.
One of you is correct,
Oh.
and it is Bud Light.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting the twist in there somewhere.
It's the horses.
That's right. King of beers.
All right. I know, John, you probably heard the term IPA with a lot of hipsters out there.
Yeah.
India
What
Pale
does
Ale.
IPA stand for? Does it stand for Indigenous Pale Ale, Indian Pale Ale, or Indian Peak Ale?
India.
Did you say indigenous?
Mhm.
I think
Pale
it's
ale.
indigenous.
No, it's
What was the
India
first
Pale
answer?
Ale.
I said Indigenous Pale Ale, Indian Pale Ale,
Oh, okay.
or Indian Peak Ale.
What do you think, Ron? I'm thinking indigenous.
I'm going to go with India Pale Ale.
Yeah, okay.
I'll say the first one.
So you say Indigenous Pale
Yeah.
Ale. Ron would be correct.
Oh.
It's India.
Very good, Ron.
Bow
Yeah.
down to the master.
All right, so we
Yeah.
have a tie game. All right.
All right, let's hear one more.
This is for the victory.
For the win.
All right, so there's no multiple choice with this one, okay? So first person to blurt it out is the winner. Okay?
Okie dokie.
In the cartoon The Simpsons,
Homer.
what is the brand beer of choice?
Duff.
Ah, John!
Yeah, buddy.
See, I would have wanted to said it first.
All right.
Oh, that
Come
was
on.
good. Okay.
Come on.
All right.
Congratulations, it was Duff beer.
Oh man, you know, I was just in another destination about a year ago where they actually had a Simpsons set up and they had an actual Duff bar you could go in.
Oh, yeah?
It was like a convenience store, but yeah, anyways,
Nice.
real fun.
Well, that's interesting.
Yes.
I don't watch The Simpsons, so I would have had
I haven't
no
watched
idea.
it in many years, but I was a kid that grew up watching The Simpsons, of course.
Wow.
Bart Simpson, man, come on.
Wow.
Don't have a cow bunny.
He's a Simpsons.
I know that. I know that.
I
I
thought
do
Bonnie was
know
going to come over there and hit you a second ago. I was like,
No,
whoa,
I do
watch
know
out.
that. All right, let's get back and talk about the tour that you offer here. I know that you have a room there with the barrels in it and also the process that you go through. So can you kind of explain a little bit about what you see when you come here and you can take the tour?
Right. We have two tours, actually. We have the general tour that lasts about 30 minutes, and we start off explaining the entire process of securing the grain, mashing, fermentation, and distillation. We then follow that up with an explanation of our bottling line and how we use only the purest water to proof our spirits.
You're from New York. You know a thing about that. With the pure water, it makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yes.
He's from Philly.
Right. We
Oh, I
first use a activated type of charcoal filter for the initial process. Then we run that purified charcoal filtered water to an RO system.
Mhm.
The reason we do that is we remove any trace of chlorine, chloramine, any solids that might be in the local water. At the end of the cycle, we also zap the water, as we call it, with a UV filter.
Wow, you're making sure that sucker is clean.
Yes.
I like it.
And we only produce the water or make it prior to actual proofing, which we do on a very slow process. We just don't dump the water into a proofing tank. We add 50 to 60 gallons a week for 5 weeks. We just it's a
Such a
slow
process.
It's a slow process because the water will marry with the ethanol, and it has to be consistent from top to the bottom. If it isn't, you're going to get variation in readings, flavor, and a problem with your hydrometry testing.
I mean, I think when you learn all this kind of things, it makes you really appreciate the spirits that much more.
Absolutely.
When you're enjoying them.
I'm an impatient person, so I can't believe you have to wait. So
Right.
You told me there was something there like 4 years ago. I would want it now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What happens if you're thirsty?
Break the trend a little.
We also offer what we call the Master's Tour. It's a 1-hour tour where we actually give the guest samples right out of the barrel at full strength. In the barrel.
Wow.
And
When you say full strength, what are you talking about?
we're talking, let's say, one of the bourbons would be 120 proof.
Whoa.
One of the light whiskeys might be 118 or 125 proof.
Wow.
It's just what it is in the barrel at the time. And it seems to have gone over well. A lot of bourbon drinkers like the heady taste of whiskeys, might be right out of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What happens if you're thirsty?
I think when you learn all this kind of things, it makes you really appreciate the spirits that much more.
Absolutely.
When you're enjoying them.
I'm an impatient person, so I can't believe you have to wait. So
Right.
You told me there was something there like 4 years ago. I would want it now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What happens if you're thirsty?
Break the trend a little.
We also offer what we call the Master's Tour. It's a 1-hour tour where we actually give the guest samples right out of the barrel at full strength.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And
When you say full strength, what are you talking about?
we're talking, let's say, one of the bourbons would be 120 proof.
Whoa.
One of the light whiskeys might be 118.
That's insane. I didn't book the master tour. I booked the 30-minute one. But now I'm kind of wishing I booked the master tour. I want to taste it right out the barrel.
Drinkers like the heady taste of full strength whiskey. We don't bottle anything of that strength, by the way.
Right.
Hi, wifey.
Gotcha.
So
Those are connoisseurs that are doing that. Wow.
I just think that's interesting that you can, because they've been in the barrel how long? Like 4 years?
Destry's here.
May of 2018 was when
So
It's just
It's got to be exciting to reveal it, right?
weird question. Why that long until you can drink it?
It actually, according to the laws of bourbon, with the alcohol, tobacco, firearm, the substantiation of bourbon being America's drink,
I did miss you.
at 2 years old, it does not have the rich, sweet corn type flavor or the butterscotches or vanilla that comes out of the wood. The longer in the wood, within a reasonable time frame, it develops more complex flavors.
Ah,
So it's worth the wait. Where do you get these barrels, and what kind of wood? What?
Our barrels are sourced from a company called Calvin Cooperage in Louisville, Kentucky.
If I do, I do. I'm not monetized. It doesn't matter.
Our specifications on the inside.
If I have to take it down, I will. But it's not a big podcast. It's a local one, so it probably
That's
won't.
because we impart different toasting flavors versus the char. Now we use the strongest char available, which is a number 4. Number 4 sort of is likened to called an alligator back. It has a series of squares and ridges in it that they actually burn into the wood, the entire barrel. Now Calvin air dries our barrels 24 months.
such patience.
No, I'm serious, man. I at Christmas time, I'm ready to.
I get mad if a red light takes too long.
Yeah. Wow,
Wow.
this is nothing but time right here.
2 years for a barrel to get, and then 4 years for the. Wow,
Well,
But
it's
then
6
do you
years.
reuse the barrel again?
We do reuse our barrels, but only for rum. We have a series of barrels aging our rum, which is now it's over 2 years old, and it's a beautiful gold color. So we just copyrighted Florida Gold, and we will have a gold smooth rum that so far mixes very well with colas.
Wow. Oh yes.
It's very
All right. I'm gonna end the video or end the live stream
Earlier today, and there's a
because I've been going for an hour. I got some stuff. Oh, let me pause
that
this.
you have that's run off of
Hold on.
it's like a smart distiller. Can you talk about that?
I'm gonna end the stream because I got some stuff to do. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye, Kyle. Bye, Destry. Have a good one. Yeah, I'll talk to you at 6:30.